Hey everyone, this is Amr coming to you with the headline, How is it kebabs can prevent a riot? So this is actually one of the introductory stories from Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit, and the research he did back when he was working with the military efforts in Iraq. And he came upon one interesting story, which was how is it that the U.S. military advised the mayor of Kufa, which is this town in Iraq, to stop having to deal with riots. Specifically, how is it that the general in charge there convinced the mayor of Kufa to take on a very counterintuitive strategy to prevent the riots that were breaking out in the city? The way that he did that was he observed the town for several days at a time and started noticing a trend. Then he made a very small request to the mayor of Kufa. What he said was, request that at this time the kebab sellers not come out. And he noticed that immediately the day after, the riots stopped around the area of the mosque. So the question is, what came up? And Charles Duhigg related it to the power of habits. The way that riots would build up was you would have a small group of instigators, then this would attract more people who were interested in it, and slowly more people came, the kebab sellers came in, and then people gathered around to grab the kebabs. Then one person threw the stone and all hell broke loose. When the mayor requested that when the kebab sellers stay out, what happened was the riots started to come up, small groups started gathering, but then people were hungry, they wanted the food, and so they started looking for the kebab sellers, but there were none available because the mayor made the request for the kebab sellers to not be there. And so a lot of them were like, well, gee, I'm kind of hungry. I think my wife has food at home, so that's where I'll go. And so that's what a lot of the outer layer of people who were on the fence thought, and so they went home. Then, from the size of the following crowds, some people were like, let's go where they're going. Maybe something more interesting is going on. And so the second layer of people went. Then it got to the point where the original instigators were there, and they were like, yeah, we don't have enough people for a riot. Let's all just go home. And so this was how the situation was handled peacefully without any need of force, because there was an understanding of societal habits that were in the people's minds that allowed them to not get hooked and start a riot, as was so custom in the region. With that, that's your other science discussion, how kebabs can stop riots. Anyway, hope to hear from you soon.